Bitcoin is down over $8,000 since its all-time high. Should you sell? Should you do nothing? Let me get into what I think. So starting out right here, this is how a lot of people feel. When we first hit $68,000, everybody was happy. And now when we are at $68,000 or even $66,000 as of me recording this video, everyone's like, what the hell? I should have sold at $74,000. I'm screwed. I'm ruined. Everything is screwed up. But to put things in perspective, Bitcoin hit a new all-time high 2 months before the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin halving is right here. We have another 34 days or so right now tracking 420, which is pretty funny, but it'll be on or around April 20th. In 2020, there was 7 months between the Bitcoin halving on May 11th, 2020, and when Bitcoin hit a new all-time high, December 16th of 2020. So a lot of people are very confused, and some people are worried that the entire Bitcoin cycle, the 4-year cycle, got pushed back, maybe because of the ETFs. But I first want to start out with this chart from Charlie Bolello, looking at the major corrections for Bitcoin. So I just want to look at the ones in 2021 here. There was one for 13 days, which is a 31% decline. There was another one for 69 days. This was between the two kind of peaks of that market for a 55% decline. Going back to 2017, we had a couple ranging from 4 to 35 days, 30% drawdowns all the way to 41%. Right here, this is the 2021 chart. You can see all of these ups and downs, massive drawdowns, $41,000 to $30,000. Here we had 58. Couple days later, 43, way bigger than the drawdown we saw right now. So it's really important to remember that Bitcoin is a volatile asset, and we're not going to get the upside without the dips, without the volatility. And right now, there's a lot of leveraged Bitcoin positions being liquidated. Basically, people losing money in a bull market, which is pretty crazy. Kyle on Twitter says that Bitcoin hitting $66,000 will trigger over $1 billion in long positions that will be liquidated. I do not play around with leverage. I'm not trying to time the market. I think that is a fool's game. I only buy spot Bitcoin. And if you are playing around with leverage, good luck. Follow somebody else on YouTube, but most likely you will eventually be wrecked. And this is just not a good idea long term. And a couple charts from Into the Cryptoverse that I want to cover before I dive into a couple final things. The first one right here, this is Bitcoin ROI after the halving. So we have not hit the halving for this year, but really after the halving, again, is when we see Bitcoin's major run in price. So let's take a look at the last halving, which is going to be the most recent one that started in 2020, May of 2020, so 4 years ago or so. After the halving, which again, the halving is happening in around 34 days, we saw the price of Bitcoin do a total of around an 8x or a 7.86x total. So that's why a lot of people are like, this is crazy. We hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin before the Bitcoin halving. And that's throwing people for a loop. It's throwing people's models out the window. People are getting very confused about, what does this mean? Should I be worried? Is this recent pullback for Bitcoin, is this something that I should be concerned about? 66, maybe it goes down to 64, maybe it goes down to 60. People start freaking out, being like, oh man, I should have sold right here at 73. Trust me, I get it. I'm an emotional being too. Those thoughts come to my brain as well. But I am not planning on selling my Bitcoin this cycle like I shared with you. That's not my plan. I shared that video, which I'll link in the description, about how I'm approaching this cycle. Because right here, I don't really see, unless we go into an entire global or at least a US recession, a serious recession, I don't really see Bitcoin after its halving not going up. I don't really see that model. The US is going to continue to print dollars, and Bitcoin has a fixed frickin' supply. That means the price goes up over time because one is being printed into infinity and Bitcoin has a fixed monetary policy, which the halving is going to literally reduce the amount of Bitcoin produced or brought into circulation every single day. So that is something that I am doing. I am pretty excited about the halving because, again, taking a look at the second halving, it went up 25x, and the first halving was parabolic. It went up like 94x or so. But that is why, again, I'll link the description below. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this dip because we've seen these dips before, 30, 40, 50% dips, not concerned. Next, we have the Bitcoin logarithmic regression bands, we saw right here, if I zoom in, it was a little bit higher just a few days ago, and then it came down a little bit. So this is just a tiny, tiny blip, what we're experiencing right now. A tiny, tiny blip in the radar. And if I reset this zoom, and we can see in previous cycles, we have touched these red bands right here. Some cycles we have actually crossed the red bands. Right now we are nowhere near touching the red bands. And next we have the price of Bitcoin color coded by risk levels. So taking a look right here at this little sliver, we were a little bit higher, and now we are back in the yellow. And really, again, this is just a little blip. So finally talking about the Bitcoin ETFs. Again, this is coming from Charlie Bolello on Twitter. The iShares Bitcoin Trust took 7 weeks to cross $10 billion. The gold ETF that launched back, I believe in 2005 or 2004, took 27 months to cross $10 billion. So that is the speed at which people are buying up Bitcoin. Asset allocators are suggesting to their clients to buy Bitcoin, and I don't really see this trend stopping. So that is it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Ultimately, I'm not concerned about this dip. It can emotionally mess with us, and trust me, I get it, because when you start calculating your net worth in US dollars and then you see that net worth go down, the animalistic reaction is to be like, oh my God, I messed up. I should have sold. Now I could have bought more. Oh my gosh, right? That is super, super normal. But it's important to realize that we are very, very early. The halving didn't even happen yet. And there are always many 30 to 50% dips in a bull run. So finally, I'll leave you with this. If you don't already have a hardware wallet, this is the Tangem. This is a card that literally connects to your phone. I'll leave the link below. If you don't already have a hardware wallet, I would suggest you buy one and not leave all your money on some centralized exchange, whether that be Coinbase or even Gemini, Kraken. You really want to take custody of your crypto. So that's it for the video, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments below. Till next time, talk with you soon, and bye for now.